Welcome to the Puff Drink Talk Podcast. Conrad here.
Dylan.
Hilton.
And George.
Minus Pablo, who is enjoying family. Still out doing Christmas and New Year's.
I think he's on hiatus after A&M lost that bowl game.
Probably. Is that the correct word? Hiatus or just...
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Taking a little sabbatical, maybe.
Yeah.
He's on
I keep throwing out big words.
AWOL.
Yeah.
I know you get that
I've heard of that
He's
one,
abandoned his post.
How dare he? How dare he?
He's never here after the Aggies.
I was
lose. It's so
gonna
weird.
say something a little bit meaner than that.
Go for it.
No, it's all right. I like Pablo. Miss you, Paul.
We
if
love
you're listening,
Pablo.
gotta come back and join us and smoke a cigar.
Yeah. Enjoy whatever you are.
Okay.
What are we smoking today, gentlemen?
This is a triple
Hilton
legit
Bryan,
Brazilian tobacco from Babalu. Very good. Shout out Babalu Cigars.
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
all,
Jeff.
and all the team over there.
Yeah, everyone.
And everyone.
Everyone.
So, explain what Babalu
Especially
is.
Jeff.
It's a local cigar company that they roll their cigars over here. So
Here in Austin, Texas?
In Austin,
Yep.
yeah.
Very cool.
They actually, I believe, have like a live webcam that you can watch at any given time and like watch them roll
Do we
stuff
take
if you're into that
two
sort of
minutes
We might. We discussed about
Yes.
it after. Yes, I don't know yet. I have to look at mine.
Calendar.
I will anyway.
It's a Tuesday. Right?
I will be smoking a Crux.
Odd man out over here.
Yes, absolutely. What the hell is Dylan in front of me?
Oh, we didn't remove Bill
It's not even where I sit, guys.
Man, yeah. Get it removed? I won't say anything, okay?
This is like a glitch in the Matrix.
That's the guy. That's my man. Man, that, please. Can you snapshot it?
It's way too...
Yeah.
Really
Can you
tense
take a
shoulders
picture,
today.
please, man? Come on.
That's what 4 months of stress looks like. Look at me.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I got my spot back. Sorry, Dylan. You were out
Like I
last
never
week.
left.
Yeah, you left last week, and I had to fill in your spot.
I hear you. Someone's got to man the computer, and
You see how culture is, man? If other Brazilians were here, we would have made a lot of fun of that picture.
Oh, I know. I shut it down really quick. Anyways, I'm smoking a...
But did you see that, Gaga?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm smoking a
you were
Crux
the one behind.
Epicure Maduro. It is a Nicaraguan. I am not sure what the filler is. It's my first time smoking a Crux. But I'm excited. I like the band on it. It looks fancy. And I will be letting you all know how it is from initial light up to the very end.
And you're pairing that with a non-alcoholic Freixenet, right? So
Me too. Non-alcoholic bourbon.
yeah, right.
Non-alcoholic, still Austin
80
select
proof.
straight bourbon.
You know what's interesting about the
we're on this camera.
the non-alcoholic? It tastes watered down almost. It's
It's not bubbly. That makes it. That makes a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't have as much bubbles, and it tastes watered down.
Yeah, I don't like. To me, just bought this one because there are other brands. Shirley is the best, but it's too expensive. That you can tell, almost tell that there's alcohol in there, but it's not. So Shirley sparkling wine is the best for us. But it's an alcohol removed. Probably there's a lot of extra processes there that remove a lot
That's
of
the
good
wrong
stuff.
Interesting.
The only Babalu I've ever had, or not Babalu, the only non-alcoholic thing I've ever had is O'Doul's.
Yeah, I know.
And I didn't care for it. It's just because someone had it. I was like, oh, I'll taste it. I mean, it tasted like beer, so it got the job done, but it wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
Smell the smoke, just really quick, if you guys can. For whatever reason, I'm getting a Indian curry.
I didn't get that. Indian curry.
You get any of that smoke?
Yeah, a little bit.
Spices.
Like samosa, like some spices. Spices.
Allspice. Anise.
Man, the spice is more than good. To go like further
Holy-
down than the spices.
Is it good?
First puff, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Really, really, really good. This would definitely go extremely well with the coffee. Wow.
Every cigar goes well
Sorry.
with the coffee.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
But this one just has a good balance.
Yes.
The first initial puffs, it's balanced right.
It's the best way to elevate.
But it's good because you got a coffee here, and also sparkling wine. So you see the difference
Yeah.
when you
I bet
pair
it's a
it.
good
Both.
way. Yeah, what you're drinking it with, like, because whiskey,
Mm.
that would be an interesting test actually. If you smoke the same cigar and then like switch the drink up throughout and see what you like the best,
Exactly.
like what pairs with it. That's going to be completely different than adding coffee.
Well, you all three have that going on right now. Still Austin and some champagne, so
Yeah,
you'll have to switch here in a second. Switch to coffee or something.
Yeah,
because we brought coffee here today.
I know. It looks like I have a handmade
Oh,
cup here.
yeah, it's in the. I think it's in the back, in the bottom. I think there's a company name there. No.
Doc.
No. Oh no. Yes, just.
Like you flip it upside down, it's just like
Yeah, there we go. Mascla.
made you look.
Mascla is the.
Mescla.
Yeah, I know the guy.
Mascla.
Shout out
I
to.
could just tell by the
Offer.
shape.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Looks handmade, like nice,
Yeah. Yeah. So.
rustic, but
Every time I go there, I buy like 5-6 pieces. Because
can.
that one too.
You gotta
Enjoy
remember, George is Greek, so he throws things on the floor.
You're Greek,
Matzah.
George.
No, he's not.
Yeah, George Abaiji, very Greek.
Well, I didn't know if that was like your family heritage.
No, I'm
You
just
immigrated to
kidding.
Brazil or something.
No, it's just that he's making up, like the soccer with 8 goals. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember that?
PK.
Do you remember
that never happened.
You know what we should do today too? Also, is the best of 2024.
Yeah.
Like the funniest, the most interesting.
Oh, yeah,
What do you
we could
remember?
recap on 2024.
Exactly.
We're celebrating
So
2024
recap.
today. Yeah.
You see? Good. So I remember how impressed we were with Richard.
Yes, that's
That was
for
the
sure
I
up
think it
there.
was number one. Like how protected you are. Very little, and you're fucked. Like I
If
think
he is very little, imagine us.
yes.
Yeah.
The
Because
mo-
he's a hacker and he doesn't feel protected at all. Imagine us. It's like,
We're screwed.
yeah.
2 takes from that video. The number one was when he says that the physical part is one of the most important ones. That all the breaches happen. 75% of breaches happen physically. So
Yeah.
someone gets in instead of being only digital, right? So that
Mhm.
impressed me a lot, right? And the second is how little protected we are, and how the crime is organized. How it's set. You remember like details, how organized it was. So that was my take.
I forget the term. There was that Netflix documentary that came out not too long ago of the people that stole like billions, like 4 billion or something in crypto. And I don't know if it's social engineering, what the term is that they use, but it's essentially like when digital hacking can only take you so far that you have to use physical hacking, which I think they call social engineering. But it'd be like, I'm trying to get information from a bank or something, I call, frantic, have a recording of a baby crying in the background, all this stuff. I need to feed my baby, I'm locked out of my car, I need this information now, and you just create a stress, situation, and then they're like, okay, sorry, let me open that up for you right now and then solve this problem. Now you're in, and then you use that to keep. That's how people do like deeper level stuff.
Yeah.
So if we did audits, I bet a lot of companies would fail social engineering hacks.
Oh.
Like
I think the fine example is the government. They continue to fail all of their audits.
all of their audits here.
They can't account for a couple $2 billion. Taxpayer money.
Well, I'll tell you, my sister in an apartment complex here, she locked her key fob on her car key died, and she left it in her car. For whatever reason, when she was getting out, she pressed the lock button on the door on the inside and then shut the door, and it locked her key in the car, and the key fob was dead, so the touch thing wouldn't get her car back open. So I had to go to her house to get her spare key, and that door code thing, the thing was dead, so I couldn't get in the door. So she called the front office, and they just let me in. No way to verify who I am, no way to verify who she is, just let me in.
Yeah.
Like, that seems not very secure to me.
What happens?
That's what Richard was talking about. A lot of this stuff happens physically before it ever happens digitally. But
Yeah.
You can. Sometimes you've seen that on Hollywood movies. How easy it is if you really, how gullible and how weak the protections are. We see that if you are ill-intended, you can do it very
It's no
easily,
good.
right? So
Can I get a cup of?
sure, okay. This is gonna be the Ethiopian
Okay.
on V60.
I'm gonna try
Okay,
this.
I'm in line.
all right.
I'm gonna pair it with this. Hilton,
Yes.
your highlight of the year.
My
Finish up.
highlight of the year was
Sir?
an amazing coincidence that we're sitting down at a bar and we met Paul
and that's special.
and turned out to be a great guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then finding that we know so many other people in common. Like he organized the golf tournament with Rob, which I've known for a year now. He's in the same BNI chapter as Gabe Cepeda, which I've known for like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, as a coincidence that happened, that it was a good highlight,
It's a good coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have happened either way, but the way that it
Yeah.
happened was a
Yeah.
good coincidence.
And he's a great, fun guy to hang out and then talk to. And then, he's on and off in the podcast now.
Pablo's.
Pablo.
Great
yeah.
tribute to Pablo here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
Shout
that
out.
was a
Shout
good,
out, man. Well
good
done,
highlight
man.
from me.
Yeah.
Good friend you are.
Thank you.
What about you, Dylan?
There's so much that happened this year that I need to think about it and come back to it. But probably up there would be when the Texas Longhorns beat the Texas A&M Aggies. That was a pretty good one. That was a highlight for sure.
But what about podcast related? Because we are doing podcast related,
Yeah.
Well, then we talked about it on the podcast, didn't we?
Okay.
right?
Well,
We were supposed to have a bet, but I'm not sure.
it's about peak, right?
Smack That Ass says, Happy Holidays. Don't forget to slap Conrad silly to end the year right.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Oh, we didn't forget.
So much love.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a great guy. Fat and bald, but great guy. Pretty dumb too. Anyways,
It's not to say things like did to you with a microphone just in front of you, man. Yeah, yeah.
He's a great guy. He's really dumb. He's bald.
He brought a knife to a
A gunfight?
gunfight,
Nah. That's what we do. All of these have been great. I would have to say my highlight of the year has been when we started doing our football picks. We made early predictions, and
Oh, yeah.
George said that the 49ers were going to
Win
win
the Super Bowl.
and I laughed because the 49ers are my worst enemy. They're the worst team in the NFL, and they're not going to go to the Super Bowl,
No,
and they will never win the Super Bowl this year.
again,
Yeah.
in history.
So
Well,
that's been my highlight
Let's
so far.
talk about it. Is there another team that has a zero chance of winning the Super Bowl now, too?
But is it
Are
podcast?
we-
Well, podcast related because of the
Are we
football
skipping
picks,
over
yeah.
that?
Yeah, because of the football picks. George predicted it. That's my favorite.
We
part
reached
so far.
100 subscribers.
Yeah, I would
This
like
year?
to. This is very recent. There's going to be something else. I got to think about it. But I thought the white elephant was pretty cool.
Oh,
we got to
yes.
do that every year.
Which one?
Our white
the
elephant.
white elephant?
Very recent.
Yeah.
It just happened, but it was.
Yeah.
I like that we haven't done that.
You missed it yet. Last week we were talking about how for Christmas, the Christmas
Meaningful
episode,
it was for us.
how it was just a really, really good, for me, a really good Christmas and a really good
Genuine.
white elephant.
Yeah.
Genuine.
That's the best white elephant I've
fun.
ever participated in.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody actively tried. There's always goof gifts, but there's always a good one. I feel like all of these were good ones. I didn't think there was one that was just I'm gonna throw in thongs. These were thoughtful, nice gifts. Except for the lottery tickets. Come on.
Hey,
Did you win anything?
$15.
Oh, you know what? That's not bad.
No.
It's not
bad.
bad at all.
Not bad.
I got $15.
Imagine if it was like, $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, Tamiris has used the chair in the
I should use it.
like in a garage for 3 days in a row. Now she stopped. She was just cleaning because I asked her like during the stop, right? Try to fix that. So she used it for 3 days. It was already worth it. She put a TV, and I am going to show you what this. I'm going to show you what Tamiris has done. She put a TV, man, in the back of the car. So do you see how hard it is for us to park the car?
Yeah.
You remember like I sent you?
Yeah.
She put a TV now in the back. There's a TV there in the back. So the car.
Because you guys have a power outlet in the back in the back of the trunk.
So
No. She put a TV on the wall
on the wall.
where the car would back onto it. So now he has even less space to park.
Exactly.
the car.
That's what I meant. Thank you.
I thought I meant.
And when I say close,
was just
guys,
sitting in the
I was
in
like,
the chair watching TV.
I was like, okay,
without
let's
the
go
truck.
outside
screen in
and
the
watch some
truck.
TV.
look at that. How close it is.
Wow, you have to stop within.
Take a look.
Inches.
You see that?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like 6 to me.
I told her that I would have to show the world what she did. Yeah, so it's
Good
kinda-
job, Tamiris. That's
Yeah,
pretty,
well done, well done.
Yeah.
It's a lot of every parking is an adventure now, right? So that's a $1,000 TV. So so what can we say? Yes.
It's just helping you be better, you know?
Oh yeah, precise. Like
Now you
Everything-
gotta be thoughtful.
yeah. Oh,
Now it's fun.
you gotta be in the present.
Yeah.
I'm feeling renewed already. Oh my goodness. So another show, another moment, a highlight, something we left, something we are disgusted.
One of my favorite episodes of the year was when Conrad was sharing stories, being overseas, and then joking about the Canadians. It's been a while now. Was it the
They're
Canadians?
like badass, and then they.
And then the French sucked or something? Or?
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah. Canadians are
Not had
badass. The
misfortune.
French are
Not prepared.
no. Yeah.
Back when Andre was here with us for some time and coming on the podcast, we had some fun stories. And
Yeah. It was a long year, wasn't it?
We had
Yeah.
Tara-
When was he here? February.
Beginning of the year.
Yeah, January.
it's been a while.
Jesus criminy, it's been
Been
1
about a
year. God damn. Yeah, no, that was fun. That was fun. That was the infancy.
He had peaks done
He did.
because he was on
He did?
before the year,
Yeah.
and then he stayed on a couple of weeks in January as well.
And then shortly after that, we started getting into the world of Formula One.
Yeah.
That was a fun.
Audition for sure.
It was. I mean, the last few races I did not go to the pub to watch, and I really felt it. It was good when we were going there. So, for the last 3 races we didn't because of the time.
Yeah,
Of the day.
time
Yeah,
differences.
It's not only that; it
There's
was done already. Like you have less motivation
Yeah,
to
a little
go.
less.
you knew the results. Of
You
the
knew the
season. And
results.
other stuff was happening, but we had a good few months there of just the camaraderie of going, drinking a beer, and watching it. And
I think that's what I was going to mention also as like my honorable mention of the highlights of the year for this. Was all the stuff that we've done outside of the podcast. Super Bowl last year at
Yeah.
my house, that was a blast.
Super Bowl was pretty cool.
My birthday, everyone was there for my birthday.
It's fun.
My birthday here was
Your birthday here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The moment we met at the park at the
Old
Old
Settlers.
Settlers.
Yes.
That was fun.
4th of July.
4th of July. It's all of the things that we've done outside of the podcast
Yes.
together with this group that it's this podcast is a lot of fun for us to sit back and drink and
4th of July, Dylan and I was completely dehydrated coming from
my
a
God.
epoxy job.
didn't
And,
you send a picture
we're-
of you in the bathtub like cramped up or something like
cramping
that?
and
my
stuff.
toes were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it there. Dylan didn't, right, Dylan? You didn't go.
No,
We had plans already, though.
Yeah, and then I made it out there, and I was
Sam.
like, I'm destroyed. And I was like, no, somebody has to be feeding me. But I had prepared. I let a pork ribs.
Go too long or something?
No, I had it like
You left it at home.
doing as we went to the epoxy
epoxy job.
And then I came back and I was like, Chris, take the pork, and then she didn't, so I had to wrap it all up to take it with me to the park. It was tough, and walk with all of that in equipment and already dehydrated, and it was tough.
That was a day. Sure.
Yeah. I saw the pictures of you guys. You guys were destroyed.
Brazilian Day.
Brazilian Day was
Yeah.
fun.
Brazilian Day.
Yeah, September.
I think when I met Sam,
7th.
we all met Sam there.
Yeah.
We had that, man. We had
We finally met Sam, and it's Samantha, not Samuel.
Yes. She'll go by Sammy.
Samsonite.
Yeah. It's so we finally realized that yes, Dylan
She's
has
real.
actually a girlfriend.
Yes.
It's not a boyfriend.
Or a catfish.
Yeah.
Oh,
We never
yeah.
asked. We never asked.
You know the policy. Don't
They've
ask, don't
assumed.
tell.
They've assumed things.
Don't assume.
Yeah.
I hear a lot
Anyway,
about Sam.
man, do you remember what was the
But now
funnest?
she's part of the group with all of us and stuff like that. It's
For
been fun.
better.
What was the
worse.
funnest moment of the day? Remember?
To me, it was dancing and taking that picture with that
I
random
think that guy,
The
yeah,
random
exactly,
guy.
that moment, like we were taking pictures
It was-
with the random guy. It's like, what the hell? That
That's
moment was, come on.
We
I
adopted
registered.
him, man. We
I have a
adopted
video and pictures of that moment.
That was a good.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. Y'all
Man,
have to
there's
do some
always a
investigating
nice guy like this, yeah.
with the Brazilian network and
Yeah.
oh
We'll have
my
to make a
god!
post.
What if we got him on the podcast next year?
Yeah.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
That
Yeah.
should be a goal.
There we go.
We gotta find out who this guy is and get him on the podcast.
Mysterious, weird, great guy. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
He wasn't that weird. I mean, he was just there, and then
Right place,
Random guy. The random guy. Yeah,
Wrong
yeah,
place,
yeah.
wrong time.
we were the weird ones.
Yes.
Because we did the weird things, like going around the guy and
grabbed him.
taking
Like, let's
pictures.
take a picture.
Yeah.
We want to take a picture with that thing, but he was there just looking at his phone, and then it's like,
That
oh, man,
was
this
fun.
guy is not coming out of there.
That was fun, but
Let's include him.
That was a good
True.
time.
Yeah,
That was
it
fun.
Well, what are we thinking for next year? Hopes, aspirations, podcast, personal lives. What are we? what are we
Podcast.
hoping-
Podcast, we are going back into doing cigar reviews. I'm gonna create the scenes. I don't have the scenes yet. I'm gonna create it so that even though we're live, but instead of doing like individual cigar review, we do individually, but we do like we can extract one video of reviews from the live podcast and then post it on later date for
kind of a short.
for somebody. Yeah, well, for somebody that wants to watch the review only, right?
We could also make shorts from that.
And then we can make shorts from that.
Also, you know that separation you can do in YouTube?
yeah, the timestamps.
Timestamps. Maybe that thing might work.
Yes,
Because I
probably
don't know
would.
about you, because I always check. Even if I don't want to watch the whole video, I check. I check this. Okay, this is this. Okay. Sometimes I watch it, just parts of that, but
Right.
that's okay. If
Yep.
you watch part of that. So maybe that idea. Is it hard to do that?
No, it's
No?
not hard at all.
No.
Live is impossible.
You can even add it in the comment section too.
Yeah.
Like anybody that watches it could put like @ and the timestamp, and anybody else it'll come as a blue link, and you click it, and but we can do it on our end in the description.
It has
as
to
well.
be into the edit. After, let's say, we edit the description, and then we put the timestamp. But because live, we don't know the timestamp, so even if we put, potentially, it's going to be there already, creating the jumps. But only if we go like, okay, now and live, we're changing the description of the broadcast, which I don't think it would work. But yeah, that can be done after.
Nice.
Yeah. Resolutions? 2025.
Well, for the podcast, going back to the cigar reviews, doing cigar reviews as well as our conversations, doing Conrad's short news.
Yeah. Do.
And let's use the Google Sheets we have to add these ideas there. You know, like you can
Brainstorm?
Yeah, just to to add layer something like
Like there are news this week. Somebody passed away that used to be president, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter.
If you would let me do my news segment, I would mention that.
Okay, can you do how are you going to introduce this?
Well, let's finish first. Let's
Yeah.
finish this first before we jump around and
Resolutions.
stuff like that, and then we'll go to it.
Jump round. We're talking about podcast or personal?
Both.
Both. 2025 is the year I'm getting yoked. Start taking
Steroids?
supplements. Yeah, steroids right in the ass. But I'm gonna start hitting the gym and lifting some weights, and I'm gonna get yoked up this year.
Nice.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Objectives.
I'm gonna eat a lot of protein,
Ellie ass farts.
some creatine,
Well,
maybe a little testosterone.
next year I want to be making more money, so gonna be working smarter here in the business, and then that's the idea. We hired a company already to do a lot of our SEO, the CRM, and there's a lot of things going on, so we're gonna be doing that.
Good.
Yep.
Dylan is working hard on getting that thing going together with the company that we hired. So
Sometimes I do think it takes like sitting down and reflecting on the year, like it's a tough year and all the things, but look at all the stuff we've grown, all the assets that we've gotten. So that's another thing. We've upgraded our truck, we've upgraded our forklift, we've gotten into eBay business, we've gotten into epoxy business. We've really diversified a lot of things and grown all at the same time. It has been a hard year. So now we should try to take advantage of the things that we have and then
all
keep
of these
growing.
Yeah, all of these new things that we started doing, it should capitalize for next year. So
I like what you said about, we actually implemented this and this and this. Because sometimes when you can only see the rabbit up front, you don't look,
Behind you.
and then you think because you're always chasing, you don't look back and say, "Hey, I'm ready for this." You see, so I think it's important for you to count your,
I think
your
gratitude
assets
is
and-
really important too. Like being grateful for there's a lot of things we still want, but being grateful for the things that we have. And then my stepdad's a business coach, and he's just real big on like celebrate the little things because they're accomplishments. Celebrate all your accomplishments. And it sounds silly, and then you start doing it. It's like it is important because it keeps you motivated. And like, yeah, you know what? It is tough, but we did do this. We did this. We got this. We got
Yes.
this. It wasn't a bad year. Tough year, but it wasn't a bad year. It's a lot of growth. And it's like when you're a teenager, growing pains, they hurt. But that's what it is. With growth comes struggle. So hopefully, business-wise next year we keep growing. I don't want to not keep growing, but also capitalize on some of the growth. Up some things. We've got a lot of stuff in the works, so it's just a matter of implementing the things that we've done now. But I feel positive about it.
we
That's
already
awesome.
implemented a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's just like there are all the things that are getting there. It's not easy. It doesn't happen like that. So it does need a little bit of time, sometimes. And we do celebrate though. Every time that we accomplish something, we toast something, and one of the epoxy jobs that we finished, and it was like really tough, and then let's stop and eat something, and and that's how we met Paul, because no, let's stop and have a beer and then celebrate for today's good work that we put in. So it's
We met Paul.
little things like that, and then we met Paul, and then Dylan had the best sandwich that he has ever had in his life.
Yeah.
It was a gas station brisket sandwich that's been sitting over there for about 7 hours. But because he had not eaten anything, during the day,
That day,
and
that time.
having that sandwich over there, I was like, wow. And they only had one, so I was like, okay, Dylan, you have that one. And then I had something else, or pizza or something.
Yeah, you went for the pizza.
And it was the very best pizza that I ever had. so,
But I feel that's a metaphor for life. You have all of these hard struggles, you have all of these difficulties, and then you appreciate the small things. Brisket
Persevere.
sandwich, pepperoni pizza, whatever it is, you go, God, it tastes so good after a hard day's work.
That's
You know?
freedom right there, man.
Yeah.
sitting down and ordering a beer, and and then we met Paul. Like, we are all like covered in epoxy.
Yeah, he's just talking shit to this waitress.
Yeah. And then Dylan's like, I like this guy. The way he orders, I like him.
We were like this. Like my back, he was sitting over here. My back was kind of to him, and I just kept hearing him talk to her. And I was like, I think we're gonna have to talk to this guy. Like just his energy, the way he's talking to her. Like we're sitting at the bar, and then slowly we just start interacting. It was funny, and then it's turned into what it's turned into.
That's awesome. George, what about you for 2025?
Good. Every year I work with all my clients, the resolutions next year. So since I keep my clients for 4 or 5 years, we can always look
George,
back.
may I have
yeah,
one of
please.
these?
Oh, it's,
Would you like some?
Yeah, just some. Thanks.
Okay.
Pace yourself.
Huh? Yeah.
It actually isn't bad. It starts tasting pretty good.
Well, you gotta drive,
I wish probably you had more. It's as you said, it's watery, right?
Would anybody like a little
It's not
splash?
bubbling,
No, I'm good.
enough.
I'm gonna have to call an Uber.
Ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. So I always work with them, and then there's this thing about, I remember I was walking through a church in London, and then it says like, we just right at the, like gigantically written on the walls, right? We must keep succeeding. Then it says educationally, professionally, socially, spiritually, right? So yeah, and I use that as a
Teaching.
reference for always using the spirit of the year to do that. So yeah, simple answer would be just that one thing, but I actually divide it in many different aspects, because you are not only the Dylan the professional, you are a son, you're a you're a husband, there are so many ways you can cut that, and
Yeah.
right. So but the only thing I just honestly I just want to, as I said the other day, keep what I have now, right? And I'll probably improve here and there professionally that I'm working with. I spend like this last 5 days working. I mean, even though it's vacation, I'm working 4 or 5 hours a day, rethinking how I'm going to do it, and start working here in the US, actually, not only in Brazil. I'm going to get paid 4 times more.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
yeah. So you got to figure it out to transfer my company here for sure. Next week, actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to record. I'm going to go to Miami. A friend of mine is opening a business here, and we are negotiating. I don't know exactly what's going to be, but he wants me to follow him and meet the potential seller. For the business. It's in
So
Florida.
you have some business
Yeah,
opportunities.
I
coming up.
didn't expect that. Another thing that I would like to have, that I know it's going to happen, it's a lot of friends are going to come from January to December. We're going to have friends like I cultivated for decades. They're going to be here. They're going to spend some time with their kids. One is just born,
Oh wow. Sorry.
so it's going to be good. So I think it's going to be more social year. So I just wanted also physical and mental stability. Like we can probably. It was okay in 2024, but I wanted also to have this, to feel that we're exercising more. Simple things, man. Just moving right now. Like moving. But I want to work out, and I think we already spoke about that. We can maybe help each other, because I also wanted to hook up.
Yeah, dude.
So
Move some steel around.
let's do it. Let's consider that.
Pump some iron.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Right? So
Go set up a gym over here in the warehouse.
why not?
Yeah.
I got things at home, and Dell gives us like $500 a year. You can use
Buy
that.
equipment and stuff.
We have 500 for Tamiris, 500 for me, so it's 1,000.
Oh yeah.
So you
get
can
some
use it
stuff.
for us. We can set up everything,
Yeah.
and then you do it together. Well, man, like in 3 years, you're gonna be selling coffee, hot dogs, because you're gonna have someone cutting the hair. Like we have this is gonna be all
one-stop
ours.
shop for everything.
Well, that could be a resolution.
Yeah.
But maybe find a business in common too, man. There will be a lot of opportunities this year. So whenever I see a good opportunity this year, I will always include you guys. I will let you know.
Appreciate that.
I will let you know. And I want your brute honesty on this. So there will be opportunities. I can tell. It's coming.
And you know what, George, and I really,
Your resolutions.
and then that's what I was going to jump into is I feel like opportunities arose. Some of them I jumped on, some of them I did not jump on. And the ones I did worked out. The ones I did not jump on, some of them worked out that I should have, and some did not. So I would chalk it up to a good judgment call. But I feel like I need to, something that I need to change. Something has to change with me for next year. And
Mindset.
yeah, mindset. I think I've hit like a professional rut. Right now, it's the same day in, day out type of thing. I'm going to start improving myself, improving some other aspects of myself. Obviously,
Find new endeavors.
exactly.
I got it.
And I feel like 2025 is, from what we've all collectively said, is going to be the year where things are going to start changing, for the best. Obviously, we have open discussions with all of us where we can, like you said, I'm going to include you guys, and you're going to be brutally honest.
Who knows? Yeah.
And that's how I feel about this group and this podcast, is that we are open and can share.
It takes a village.
It really does.
It takes a village.
It really does.
It takes a village,
And if I'm going to be a part of a village, I'm proud to be part of this village with you guys. And so I feel like next year is going to be some improvement mentally and physically for me, for us. And let's
cheers to that.
yeah,
That was powerful.
Yeah, let's do it.
let's ring in
Let's
2025.
cheer that.
great.
Yeah,
I
cheers to that.
2025
Cheers.
is going to be
Yes.
the year of belt to ass. Let's go kick 2025's ass. This is a great village.
This is a Kenyan. This is a Kenyan.
Yeah.
On
It
it's a
is,
Kenyan
it is.
on a V60. No, on a Kalita. So yeah, that was extracted really fast, and it's been I brewed it. I think I brewed
Nice.
that 3 hours ago, so it's still pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
perfect.
So yeah,
Very
shout out to Stanley and to Bello, my favorite brand. Yeah.
I saw some of that stuff
This
in
one
the
is
container
pretty-
store.
Can I do a quick
Of course.
cigar review
Yeah,
so
go-
far
go
of this?
ahead.
I'm in love. I am definitely going to go back now that I've tried it. I'm going to be buying one of these cruxes for y'all to try, because I feel like
Okay.
it's
Cool.
a
It's up
very,
there?
very. Hey, look at that thing. Perfect even burn on this thing.
Yeah, and you're.
It is very tightly packed. It packs a great tasting punch all the way through. I have not.
What flavor profile are you getting? I know you at the beginning you were smelling that kind of curry, like spice,
Yeah, so
some
the
spices.
So the spice and it was so hard to describe, but it was a sweeter spice flavor profile that came through at first. Now that it's progressed to this, it's still consistent. That's one thing I can say about this cigar. It is very consistent. It has a good flavor profile, but it's not too overpowering and strong. It pairs well with, honestly, with this coffee and even this, the non-alcoholic champagne that we're sipping on. But whatever you probably want, this is probably something that you can just sip on with anything and just enjoy.
What would that be something you'd recommend to like someone that's new in the cigar community? Is it
Absolutely.
kind of like smooth and easy on the palate?
Absolutely.
Is it sweet
Absolutely.
at
Flexible.
all or no?
No, it's not sweet at all. At first, it had almost a sweet flavor to it, but then probably by the second or third puff, like that sweetness went away.
Mhm.
But it's always just been a consistent smooth. I think that's what I'll say about this. It's a smooth tasting, smooth cigar so far.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
In the beginning, you said it was sweet, and we felt like mint or peppermint or something.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Did
No.
you feel that during the smoke? So
Not
it
at
was
all.
just
It was just that
smell.
initial smell.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
you felt it sweet. You remember? You
Yeah.
mentioned like completely sweet.
And you did too. You smelled
Yes.
it and you're
Mhm.
like, it kind of has a sweet note to it.
Yeah.
But no, it's not there throughout this whole.
I'm curious to see what Dylan's picking up on his cigar because we are smoking the three of us is smoking the same one, the Babalu.
Alright.
And we had the Babalu with the
I'm on the spot
Freixenet,
here, guys.
with the Freixenet coffee.
What are you getting?
Hmm?
You picking up on this guy?
And I smoked so many Babalus, right? So I think this one is one of the best. It's not my, as you know, it's not my
It's not
favorite.
It's not your
favorite
preferred.
thing. Yeah, but
You like Sumatra?
with with the coffee, as we are doing it, it went pretty well with the with the Freixenet, and it went pretty well with both coffees. So I'm okay with that. But I would say I have to pair something like this. Like I'm eating chocolate.
Yeah.
So I'm eating chocolate. If
I
I'm
don't get-
eating a strong meat, I will drink a Cabernet Sauvignon. This is how I want to pair. it.
Yeah.
But this one, I prefer that with coffee.
I
prefer
think
that with coffee.
You getting any notes?
everybody has their own like preferences or something. I think not with any type of meat, just a table wine. I think Hilton and I would probably always lean towards Cabernet,
Yeah.
red meat or not. That's good to have different preferences and then to see where you're coming from on that.
I'm trying to, now that I drink a little, just
Yeah,
to like,
combination.
I don't know if I have the pepper in my mind, but it's still fresh.
You're
Something
getting-
fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're picking up the same as I am.
So
Yeah, I think something fresh. Like I can tell that. Like I don't know if it's seasonings or if it's I don't know. Yeah, but I'm feeling something fresh. Kind of Brazilian black beans.
Yeah.
When you put a lot of different kinds of seasonings in there, Brazilian seasonings. I am feeling that kind of seasoning. If you ask me, Louro, something like this.
Yeah.
So this is this kind of thing.
How would you describe it so far?
I was curious about Dylan because I'm picking up on the retrohale a little bit of cinnamon with anise.
Thanks.
And I think that freshness is that you're picking up is what I'm translating it to
Yeah.
anise because it gives that fresh smell of when you wash clothes and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And look at this. I have got the
On the
smoke in
retrohale
there,
only.
and then when I drink it, it goes down
almost
in
like-
the combination of both.
Yeah.
Fresh linen.
So
Yeah.
again, it's even fresher. So I would say seasonings. That's how I would describe that.
Yeah, but
freshness, seasonings.
Yeah, on the puff itself, not the retrohale. I'm picking up. I'm not very well. I mean, we drove a lot today and did not have my water bottle with me, and I forgot, so I didn't hydrate well. Be able to pick up more my taste buds, but
Have it.
no, I had it. I got it in there. So, but on the puff itself, I'm getting just like a bold cigar, like a bold, like
Yeah.
a heavy flavored cigar that I could not put what it is. But that's it.
I like it because
The
I'm in the
retrohale
mood
is
for
different,
that.
yeah.
I like it because I'm in the mood for that. I don't know, other days how I would feel that. We're only drinking water, but coffee with the coffee.
What are you picking up there
as
as well?
well. I was going to say, one of the things I like about smoking cigars in general, and especially revisiting ones that's been a while, is it almost takes you back to the time that you had it. There's probably similar things with that, like whiskeys or anything, but we have our go-to cigars. So to go back to something that I haven't had probably since
In a while. More than a year.
springtime or like last summer or
It was
something like that.
Last year.
It takes me back to sitting in the warehouse in the heat, grilling picanhas on, and just sitting out there in the smoke. We had people come by. That was back when our old neighbors were still here.
That's when we had these.
Allison came by. We were making her steaks. It was just like, it was a good day of celebration.
We were celebrating, something that we had closed on a deal or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, let's pop those, triple ligeros up, and then it was grassy. I did not get the grassy taste on this one because of probably my hydration, but I'm getting that bold, thick smoke.
It could be. That's part of why I wanted to bring that up, is like, it's funny how it's like you revisit it and it takes you back, but also as you evolve in your experience with smoking cigars, it's like different taste profiles kind of register something differently over time.
Yeah.
So I would say that the smoke itself is bold and toothy in a regard. Like it's a thick, toothy, textural smoke, bold and deep in the flavor profile. I'm not picking up like a raw grassiness that I was before.
Yeah.
I was getting kind of a little bit of that old kind of barny, like a barnyard hayish flavor. It's not like fresh cut grass where like you take something and you roast it and you're getting two different, a raw tomato or tomato sauce. It's completely different flavor profile.
Yeah.
So it's not like a raw fresh grass. It's like it's been dried and aged in like a hay, but it's this dryness. But I'm also, you said cinnamon. I didn't get cinnamon, but I got this like very subtle sweetness that was almost like molasses or something. Like it's a dark sugar, like a brown sugar or molasses, but it's not strong. Like it's not super like forward on the palate. It's just there. And then I did a retrohale, and that's when I got like, only when I retrohale, I'm getting like black pepper, like real peppery. But I think it's the heat of the smoke and the way it's going through my nasal passage. It's peppery. But everything is like bold and leans towards like roasted and cooked and aged, not fresh, raw. Whatever the ingredient is that you're picking up, it's that for me. It's like it's not raw sugar. It's age. It's developed. It's darkened.
It's only because
it's bold.
I did not pick up sweetness. That's why I picked up some spicy. That's why I put cinnamon in there, but not as black pepper. Because I have a very...
You don't like black pepper.
I have a very particular memory on black pepper.
Yeah.
And I did not bring it up, but probably the mix of the spices on my retrohale, I picked up a little bit of anise, which eases off.
It could be.
Yeah.
Which probably you put as a molasses.
That's what I smelled in yours.
And I put like more foro in it.
Anise.
But it's more than anything... It's more of like an aroma. Even though I'm tasting it, I'm smoking it, letting it out, it's more of like the aroma of like how that impacts the essence of the smoke, not necessarily tasting sweet.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, if someone out there gets their hands on one of these, it's not going to taste like a flavored sweet cigar.
No.
By any means.
It's not a first time
It's got
smoke.
like the essence of molasses or something in it. Which
But I
you'd
can
have
see
to
that
be a
in my
seasoned
lips.
smoker
I can see that
to-
it's
a nuanced thing. It's subtle.
Sweetness, but very, very, very.
So it's a complex cigar, and it's because of the triple Ligero, and it's bold. Like I definitely can feel the buzz, how it forms quickly.
And it's burning all right. I mean, it's not perfect.
Yeah, mine's pretty good.
It's burning all right.
The ash breaks off pretty easily, but the burn is relatively even.
That was going to be my next question. Is this a beginner cigar, or is this a more experienced cigar smoker cigar?
I would say, it really, my whole take on that is, what do you like? So that's a big part of it. But if you're just getting into cigars and you're looking for something more mellow, medium, this isn't it for you.
Right.
But there could be someone that's never had a cigar before, but they like wine. And it's like, all I drink is cab. All I like is super bold, punchy flavors. I like really strong steak with heavy season. There's just different. So you'd have to see what someone's into, because I don't think
complement
there's
that. I think
one for everybody.
better
you know?
be like for this to be to anyone, you'd have an adjustment of stars. So many things would have to work so well.
Yeah, for
Someone to be
Right.
able to. As you mentioned, you gave an example, right? Oh, I used to take espressos at night.
Yes, I like
dark,
dark roasted
dark.
coffee.
I drink, all this spirits, like liquor and stuff.
Meat,
maybe
no ice,
Yeah.
maybe port
Aged
wine.
Wagyu.
Port wine. Like something like if you're
See,
like
I
that.
like port.
Yeah.
So it's funny how the different ways will.
And then maybe
The
you
stars
see,
do have to
this
align.
one again is the same thing I told you. If you start in an early age learning things,
Right.
the big tendency is that you won't taste something good. You won't have a good experience. So don't get discouraged because you had one bad experience.
Yeah.
So many things have to align to
try.
be good. Yeah.
Try again.
And
Keep
trust
trying.
us.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
So I don't think it's a tough scale, but I would also say concurrently, this would never be a cigar I'd recommend to a first-time smoker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. See, and this is a cigar that I would recommend
That's
to
what
a
I was
first
curious
time,
about.
first time smoker, but even an experienced smoker as me, if it's my
Can enjoy.
Flavor
Flavor
profile.
profile, what's your preferences?
and it does have it's enough of a mild smoke, but yet has some complexities to it that intrigues me and keeps me going like, It's not
That's
bad.
interesting.
it's not bad,
Yeah.
It's a good cigar. I'm enjoying it.
At the same okay, go ahead.
Oh, go.
At the same time, I just would like you to ask: have you finished your coffee?
Mm-mm.
Just try it
Halfway.
now. Try it now because now it's supposed to be the top of the taste, even though it's not the hottest. But now the top of the taste is supposed to be now. Supposed to be juicy.
It is kind of juicy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's wet.
Pretty
It is a
good.
liquid.
It's pretty good. Like to have the whole experience.
I've been sipping on the coffee, smoking.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to
A
you
lot
guys
of yours,
going.
because this isn't the. I feel like Ethiopian. A lot of Ethiopian. This is the Kenyan one, but they have like this floral note to them.
Yeah.
This is Kenyan, but I'm still picking up like a little bit of this floral note,
I picked up more. I puffed,
almost fruity.
drank, and then I picked up more floral after the puff, and then I puffed it again. And it's an interesting, That's the thing about wine, coffee, cigars, the things that will change the taste profile and spices.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
when you eat spicy food, right? It opens up. When you have something else that is not as spicy, like you pick up something different from that food. They go like,
I agree.
Wow.
Saline, salt. I mean, there are a lot of things out there that amplify
Yeah.
flavor. Like salt, that's what it does. Temperature has a big relationship with flavor too.
Yeah.
So you can take a really crappy, terrible for you tap water and then get it super cold. Most of the time it's still going to taste pretty good because that's numbing some of those flavors as they hit your tongue. You're not tasting all those minerals and all those things. So that's probably what you're referring to as it cools down a little bit and it's blossoming.
Mm-hmm.
You're tasting some of the fruit notes. Same is true with whiskey. You taste something room temperature.
15 minutes
versus
after
chilled.
it's opened.
I would agree.
May I add another thing that enhanced our experience here?
Yeah.
The fact that I know that you are trying and tasting. The fact that I know that you guys are doing, trying to get the best. I'm puffing less. I'm enjoying more just by being here. Just by being here, see, I saw that he's mixing sometimes coffee. So just by
I'm
noticing.
all over the effing place with
Yeah.
different my drinks. Like I don't know.
That's good though.
No, but that's the point, man. But it's no good or bad here. I'm just saying that only by seeing you doing that, enhanced my experience.
Yeah, it impacts the way that you.
Because if someone says, and then okay, changing the whole thing. The next round you're gonna talk, I'm gonna be paying attention what you
Yeah.
said and what you said. You know, like.
Yeah.
I think some of it's a little placebo effect of like looking for something that maybe is not there, but sometimes it's like that's on the tip of my tongue. What is that? And then someone else says it. That's exactly what I'm
Yes.
tasting.
Yeah.
It's something different, you know.
Yeah, so that's why when you guys mentioned the same thing, it's like yes, because that's it. But to me, it reminded me of something a little bit different, but with the same sort of borderline direction of taste. And like for example, puffing on this cigar, because this cigar overpowers the bourbon,
It does.
so the bourbon feels sweeter.
Really?
Yes.
If you take a break from the cigar and sip the bourbon has a slight more, and we're drinking different bourbons, by the way. Or did you
No,
do still
I-
us? You
yeah.
the same one. So it has like almost more of like a harshness to it until you get into the cigar and then back into the whiskey, and it does mellow it out.
Yeah, and then it's like sweet. So
They play with each other.
The cigar overpowers, so it's better to puff and drink than drink and puff.
Unless you like
Interesting.
one or the other.
Right.
If you're leaning towards one way of it, it's this weird like reference, like the way that your brain takes it in. It's like you're jumping in a hot tub and you came from a freezing cold pool. That hot tub feels 120 degrees.
Right.
Then you jump back into the pool and it feels like an iceberg. It's this quick memory reference. But if you take your time on both of them, like independently, they're good. The way they interact with each other is different. That's why I think pairings of all sorts of things is an awesome way to try things, because
So many possible combinations.
it could
and
enhance the conversive.
experiences. That's exactly what I'm saying. Now we are using meta language to describe what you're doing because of that.
Wines and cheeses, like
Mm-hmm.
the fat content, the creaminess, the way it coats your mouth, tannin levels of wine, you can apply that to anything.
The cigar that we gave to Richard today, Mint Builders, customer of ours, I smoked that one with Spock. Shout out to Spock. We were having the jellyfish,
Electric jellyfish.
electric jellyfish,
Such a good.
and
Shut up, my mouse.
it paired really well.
Yeah.
It paired really well.
The fruitiness of the hazy IPA or the IPA hoppiness. What paired well?
Well, it just went well together. It was. It doesn't. I mean, there was no overpower one over another.
There was no combination of like you had to puff first and then
Yeah.
take a sip, or
It
you could take a
was.
sip
It
and
was
then
like.
puff.
It was actually like almost like a perfect pairing. For like a cold drink
Yeah.
and a warm cigar. Right, cigar is warm. And then we ran out of jellyfish because I only took like 8 for us. So so we ran out, and then we went into drinking what he had over there, which was a Heineken. And it was. And then the cigar, it wasn't good at all. I mean, it might as well just drink water. It would be better.
Let me tell you something, guys. I was smoking a cigar, and with everything we said, and then how drinking. I'm still drinking coffee. When I drank this water, because it's really, really alkaline, it was sweet. When I was drinking, it was absolutely sweet
Huh. Interesting.
because of the alkalinity, and because of the contrast. We are just talking about how the contrast between cold and hot.
Yeah.
It just happened because this is like it has some bitterness in this, you can tell. And with the alkaline, so drinking alkaline water after something bitter might satiate your
Yeah.
need for sugar.
Yeah.
I bet it would. Are you
Interesting.
familiar with Juicy Fruit gum?
What's that? I'm not familiar with that.
Yes.
Are you familiar with it?
Old
I
school.
don't. It's old school. You don't find it a ton. Maybe. I don't chew a lot of gum anymore.
Yeah, I never. Even when I was a kid, I never really liked gum. Very much.
growing
Really?
up. Juicy Fruit,
Okay.
and it's got like a sweet. So I've always said this. My take on the electric jellyfish is like you took Juicy Fruit and you took out a lot of the sweetness, and it's like a cloudy, hazy IPA with a fruity, like a juicy, fruity body. Think about that the next time you try it.
Yeah.
You can almost get the beer to taste sweeter, like when you compare the two, because the Juicy Fruit is a very sweet gum, but it's juicy fruit. It's fruity. But the Electric Jellyfish is very much like a cloudy, hazy juice bomb of a beer
If you allow
that
me,
is so good.
If you allow me a quote here, because I'm not familiar. I don't know about you, but I'm not familiar with that. I've never tried it. So it means so much for you. I don't. You see, even though I don't understand that,
Yeah,
like I don't
associated with
translate.
it's memory
I
association.
know
yeah.
like 20 different candies in Brazil that would get this,
Yes.
get this idea, but I still don't have the the taste experience when you say that. It's different for you.
It looks like something in Brazil it could be, but we don't know.
Yes,
because
exactly.
some things look similar and then they taste completely different just because of the marketing.
Babalu.
Um,
Tipo é Babalu.
yeah, I know, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me
You
that
have the
looks
juice inside, like the
No.
Oh
No.
yes,
Babalu?
So
ping pong.
no. There is a
Ping pong.
yeah. There is a gum that's
Ping-pong,
called
yes.
Babalu, not Bobalu.
With an A.
Yeah, and then
At
and
least
double O in the end.
Wrigley's
but-
chewing.
and I was gonna say, and it's so funny on the cover of it, on that first, it says now longer flavor, now lasting, now longer
Long
lasting, because that was the gum that you would chew. 20 minutes later, you're like,
Spit it out.
what the hell? Where did the flavor go? It's
Yeah.
gone instantly. It's the only gum that I've ever had where 20 minutes
Can I
later
tell
the
you something?
flavor's gone.
I just brought it. Now that I see that, I brought for us after smoking. This is exactly what I brought.
Juicy fruit?
No, it's not juicy fruit. It's just a different taste, but it was Ringler. Ringler's.
Wrigley. There's
Yeah.
one that so Sam,
Look.
Samantha, 5 gum.
Yeah, so it's
that 5 gum?
Yeah, 4.
No, look at the wrapper.
Oh, 5.
That's a brand.
Oh, is there a brand? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Have you never seen the commercials? Like, this is
No.
what it feels like to chew 5 gum.
No.
And it's like you get your hair
Sorry,
stands up
but
on your
I
arm.
know the
Oh, okay,
Wrigley's,
yes.
like it's probably the company's name,
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
it is.
but I was just like, what the fuck? Because like yesterday I had like, all right, I'm addicted to this shit.
This dude, this stuff is like top tier
5,
gum.
yeah.
It's Wrigley's Chew 5 gum. That's the Cobalt.
Ringles, you see, that's what I
It is.
associate with
Yeah.
the brand. Yeah, that's why.
That's what it'd be the peppermint. Like
So I
Cobalt.
brought it. Coffee for us
Finish it up.
and
gum?
some gum, right?
Perfect.
Samantha is real big into gum. She chews a lot of gum. She likes it. But she found it's called Pure Gum. And it's like aspartame free, healthier, blah, blah, blah. If I eat it, it's not 20 minutes the way Juicy Fruit was. It is 3-5 minutes. It almost tastes like nothing. You gotta spit it out. And that it reminded me of that. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's not expensive. I don't know if you like gum at all, but it's worth buy this at some point and try it. I always I get the green spearmint one. That's what Sam has, but pure gum. It's like healthy-ish. As healthy as
aspartame, yeah.
as healthy as gum's gonna be. It's not.
You,
Right.
you won't get it at Lowe's or something like that. In candies like that. Yeah.
No, but
They won't be doing that.
it's like whatever they use to get the flavor in there. You chew it for a few minutes, it's gone. You gotta spit it out.
Yeah.
It's too healthy. Sugar-free, aspartame-free, but it pops you with the flavor bomb in the first couple minutes. But you gotta dump it after
I know,
about that.
I know.
It's RFK approved.
It's probably.
This one is pretty good. I think you'll like it.
Oh yeah, no, I've had 5 before. I
Yeah,
love.
this-
I chew.
I used to chew a
every
lot of
day.
5 gum in high school. Gum was like the currency in high school. You'd have to like open it up in your backpack and let nobody see it. Hey, he's got gum. Gum, can I have a piece? Can I have a piece? Can I have a piece?
Yeah.
Can I have a piece? All the time. So you'd have to like hide your gum because everybody wanted your gum.
Yeah.
I was never much into gums.
Really?
Yeah.
You missed out.
No, I didn't. My. It's
Actually,
like for
I
example,
didn't. Thank you.
Yeah.
Asshole.
For example, I don't like carbs a lot. I like some specific carbs, but I don't like any carbs. You know what I mean? It's like I have a few things that I like. So I'm
Bread,
bread.
pasta.
No,
Depends on the pasta.
it depends on what you have with pasta. Like pasta with shrimp and
What about
spices.
like a carbonara?
Yes. Carbonara, yes, because it goes bacon in it.
Yes.
But if you add,
Put anything with bacon in it.
if you add
True
spices on carbonara, which I do, and
Like a
people
spicy
don't,
carbonara?
yes, and then I like even more.
It's more like
So
a arrabbiata with like a red sauce spice.
it's more. I'm more on the spicy and salty flavor profile than sweet. So I like sour as well. I like sour.
Yeah.
Savory, sour.
Savory and sour, yeah.
Well, cool, guys. I think we've.
Let's do Conrad's short news of the week, which I haven't got the thing yet because I did not have the time.
Just envision it.
Let's just say, let me just say that Georgian mentioned his vacation time. I did not have a vacation. I worked.
Staycation. Yeah.
I worked every single day, even Christmas Day. I was here.
Yeah.
Early morning and doing some work. I did not work last Sunday though. I was like, I need to rest this Sunday. But I worked every single day because between the time that Dylan took off and Carol took off, we had 11 jobs.
Jesus,
So,
criminy.
There was one day that I started loading up materials and people and whatnot, and then I was like, I look at and I started like at 8 in the morning. Now I look at the watch, I was like 11:40. Like, oh, and then I text George, like, George, I'm gonna be late. Because I had a meeting with George at noon. It's like, I'm gonna be late.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's okay. You got there.
but then I
30 minutes
spent
later.
good 2.5 hours there
It
with
was
George.
pretty good for networking. Pretty good. Yeah.
And look at this, what I got from Bob,
Yeah, man.
Mr. Bob, Sir Bob.
Is that a challenge coin?
Yeah.
Try not to touch it with your bare foot.
I always carry mine too
Look
here.
how beautiful that
Yeah.
is, man.
He was
Mr. Bob Young, he gave it to
was
me.
Mayor,
look at
right?
that.
chef. Yeah, he was chef.
He's a police chief.
Chief,
Police
and then
Chief
he
Bob
was-
Young. Look at how
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
that
it's,
is,
it's
man.
really
It's
nice.
unbelievable.
He gave me one too. I've got it
He
here. I
has
always
a
carry it.
case to keep it. But,
Yeah,
It's cool.
looking without the case is
Yeah, Bob.
unbelievable.
That's really
and he
pretty.
was a mayor 3 times in a row.
Very cool.
For Cedar Park.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil because we invited him to come here. He will come. I want to
Yeah, I'd
tell
love- I'd love
everything
that.
he made for the city of Cedar Park. I want him to tell you guys.
I'm
Is
sure
it
he
Great
has
friend of mine.
more stories than we could fit in.
I would tell you,
A year's
this
worth of
guy
podcasting.
is man, great heart. Always ready to talk about anything. So yeah.
He'd fit right in with us.
Oh, well, yeah.
Shout out,
definitely,
Bob.
yeah. Shout out, Bob.
You just got to keep him away from Pablo.
And by the
Yeah.
way, all of the stories in Ronnie, what's his name? Sorry,
Donnie.
Donnie.
Oh,
Ronnie
my-
Donnie about his Z28 and the car and then driving. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
It was like an
Yeah.
awesome. It was an awesome
conversation.
conversation. It was like great. And he gave me he bought over there in Boobaloo a aged Connecticut.
It was just made. We just rolled.
And it freshly rolled
Yeah, the
with
back of
aged
it.
tobacco.
Yeah.
It's like a $9 cigar.
Yeah.
And Conrad, you'd love that.
Really?
Yes,
Fresh.
because it was as good as the Oliva.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Right
Oliva
there.
Connecticut is very good.
Yeah.
And I don't,
It was. I mean, I don't like Connecticut cigars,
so I was supposed to say,
and I really, like the taste and everything coming to it. It's
I
like,
was gonna say I
wow.
don't like
Yeah.
them. They're just not my preference. But I've had some where I'm like, oh, I do like that.
It's a pretty good
I do like
experience, right?
Connecticut's
Well, when I say I
Perdomo
don't
is a really
like,
good one too.
Yeah.
The champagne.
when I say I don't like, it's more like
You don't prefer.
it's like out of, let's say, 10 Connecticut cigars that I smoked, I really loved 2,
Two, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
happier to see.
and then the rest I
drank
hated
three
it.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bermudas.
yeah. But then
That's nice.
your average
I know, it's
Maduro,
pretty good.
you're gonna like 8 out of 10 of those because
Yeah.
that's what
We
your
ordered. We got
preference
home
is. Yeah.
midnight.
Now that Oliva Connecticut really does stand up there. The only other one that I would say like I would go back and get over and over and over is the Perdomo champagne
That one. Yeah,
anniversary
like
round.
that.
It's a little bit more expensive than the Oliva.
You
Not by
know
a
what?
lot.
No,
but-
that's 3 because the one that we got, the
Is that not Oliva?
Cinco. No, the
Cinco Vegas?
Cinco, yeah, that box over there.
Yeah, the Vegas Gold. The
Yeah.
Cinco Vegas Gold. That was good.
That
too.
was pretty good. Morning cigar, awesome.
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 So,
Oh, sorry. Back to the news.
Conrad, short news that could be long.
No, it'll be short. Former President Carter passed away today, 100 years old. Jimmy Carter, one-term president, late 70s.
Yep.
He passed away, so that's part of the news, unfortunately. Shout out to him.
I saw
last
that.
year.
Yeah.
What was the city that he really contributed a lot during his lifetime?
Something in Mississippi or Alabama. If
Yeah, I
remember
think
right.
it was Mississippi, something like that.
Yeah, he's a very humanitarian person. Always helping. I mean, there's a lot of videos and pictures of him up until his 80s, until finally his health really disabled him, or kiboshed him from doing anything more. He was always helping building houses for the homeless, and
I saw a sentence. I saw this statement saying that he was a weak he like trying to debut the Senate the statement that he was a weak president but a exemplary post president. So there's a very famous old saying about that, and then he says, "No, I wasn't weak. Look what happens during my years," and then he goes over and explain everything that.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because talking with my parents, as far as who lived through Carter, they would say that times were tough under Carter. There was the gas shortages.
Yes.
There was a lot of
That time was the
Some of that's
the
adopted,
gas prices crash kind of thing.
yes,
Oil crisis.
Yeah,
Oil
oil
prices.
prices.
sometimes, though, we give too much credit and not enough credit to someone in office, because a president can also only control so much, that we attribute a lot of these hardships to a president, when sometimes that's just the way that dice.
Yeah.
That's the way the cookie crumbles,
for
Yeah.
that,
so to
for that
speak,
picture.
for that
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
And especially as a one-term president, it's a little bit harder because you're still adopting things and trying to change stuff from a previous term, that by the time it's really fully in effect, you're not there anymore.
Right.
So I'd be curious to look into like the next 4 to 8 years after he was president,
Well,
and look at that. But
so, and that's the thing, is right after Carter was Reagan.
when everybody's renowned, well, not everybody, but Reagan is for the
Renowned.
most part a very well-loved president for what
Yeah.
he did. So maybe he adopted some of the things that Carter. And I don't know. I wasn't
that could
there.
be a possibility.
I wasn't there. Clearly.
Yeah. So I think that could be a statement that generalizes him. I haven't looked into it, but if you were to talk to my mom or dad talking about Carter, they would bring up a lot of
We
not the
experienced
best.
it.
Yeah, they're like gas shortages, lines just to go get gas, and a whole bunch of other things. And then as soon as Reagan came in,
Everything's
magically everything fixed itself and things were good.
better. Well, maybe that's indicative of what happened. I don't know.
Yeah,
The thing
so I'm
is,
not sure.
in 1974, all of the cars, they had, if you remember that, I mean, you may not because you're not born yet. Not me, but I've researched on it because I like old cars, right? So, and I was born in 76, so I wouldn't know. But in 74, all of the muscle cars and whatnot, they had power, because they start getting like mapped computer things
Yeah.
Sure.
to save gas, because there was gas shortages.
Yes.
Yeah.
And catalytic converters introduced in 74. So that's why, you would be, if I buy 73 or 72, Corvette is more powerful than 74 Corvette, even though it's the same engine, but, it's a mapped engine afterwards, because, they
valid.
had to. And that's when he was in office, or like, what, 70?
77 to 81.
Yeah, that's
281.
right here.
So, and it's funny you actually bring that up, because my dad was saying how back in the late 70s and early 80s, Carter did start doing a lot of these environmental protection acts and trying to clean up the environment because, and my dad would remember, he's like, he had a lot of opportunities to go and work in LA, Universal Studios, acting, modeling jobs and stuff like that because of his bodybuilding career. But he was like, there's no way in hell I'd want to live in LA because of the smog, because of how nasty it was. And it was previous presidents and then Carter trying to clean it up where, I mean, my dad was telling me how the river in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, caught on fire.
Really?
Because it was so heavily polluted from, the cars and oil, just dumping it into rivers.
Companies.
Yeah.
Majority is 85% of the pollution in water is caused by companies.
So, and that's what he was saying is like, during that time, it was terrible. Smog was terrible. You couldn't go outside, or it was very
China, like as we
Yes.
seen in the ladies in the 10s and 20s, right? So
Yes.
just like you gotta wear a mask,
Wear a
like in Sao
mask to
Paulo,
go out.
right? You can almost actually feel the
It's
air.
like so
you
thick.
can touch.
Some
You can
vol-
touch
yeah,
the air.
it's-
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so that's what my dad was saying is,
Breathing the air in São Paulo is the same as smoking, cigarettes.
Yeah.
How so
unhealthy
many
it
packs
is.
of cigarettes a year. Something like that. It reduces
So-
your health. Yeah.
So, and that might be one of the things that Carter implemented to.
Was he a Democrat or a
Yes.
Republican?
He was
Democrat.
Democrat.
So you see, even though, like for example, that it doesn't matter what the party you are in. If you're trying to do something to improve, and it doesn't matter what the party, you inherit, the government, right? And then you have to run with whatever you have.
Right.
But I feel like when he gave it to Ronald Reagan, he was a little bit better than what he got, right?
And I don't know who was the president before
was
Carter.
all the confusion. Nixon, remember that? Was that?
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
all
Yeah,
that period,
Watergate.
So yeah,
Okay.
Watergate and
Yeah. But anyway, so unfortunately, former President Carter, he passed away today, 100 years old.
100 years lived a
That's a
good,
long
Good
life.
lengthy life.
and he
Yeah.
said he would only live to vote because the love of his life died this year, in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I just want to vote, and then I'm ready to die. So probably, he says, like enough is enough, and he just let things happen.
Yeah.
100 years old,
It's a good age.
One of the most loved post presidents. Everybody liked him. So, yeah, he left something. He left something. How presidents should behave instead of becoming billionaires.
Yeah.
Well, I would say too, like modern day, it's very polemic. The word we use a lot on this podcast, but a lot of from Obama, George W. Bush, on. The water's either hot or cold on every president all the way through. But I think Obama was a very well-spoken. He was a leader. He
Represented, right?
He's probably the closest thing out of all the modern presidents that was kind of like a well-loved person. Although people on the right still today say, I hate that guy. No reason to
I don't
hate
hate
him.
him.
He was a really good, well-spoken person. He was a leader. And on from then, I don't think it's too current. It'll be 50 years from now before people can really weigh on
Realize
what it is or what it isn't. But yeah.
Well, and that's always how it is.
Always, yeah. It's like
Yeah,
Bush
the
Senior is just now like
the
we talk
legacy.
about it,
Yeah.
The legacy is only perceived after a while, because then you can read history and understand, like, oh,
Or reread.
that
the way you
only
want.
happened
Yeah.
because
Bill Clinton,
of what started
you know?
over there. Yeah,
Right.
It's gonna take some time.
yeah.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, I appreciate it. I saw, a few posts about it. It's like, yeah. And I don't like, politics in general. Like, we talk about politics and sometimes like I don't really like it, because I don't like praising politics and whatnot. But at the same time, it's the people that are trying to do something either to get power or to do something for the people. We never know, but we only know what history tells.
Well, and I feel
future,
like
It's not always as noble of a cause as we kind of thought.
and I know Dylan, George, you said it where all presidents end up multi-millionaires after their presidency. You know, I feel like Carter is one of the only presidents who, post his, is like, I'm still going to help build houses for the homeless. I'm still going to continue my humanitarian efforts. Well into his 80s, and I mean, he did that for
40 years.
Yes,
after
40,
he was
50
president,
years.
yes.
He continued his humanitarian efforts. So I feel like Carter's an exemplary humanitarian person. For sure.
Yeah, he's had a great impact on that.
Yes. As who was a president, how you should conduct yourself post-presidency.
He was very moderate, to be honest. He was very moderate. If you can read there and see, like, for all I know, which is not a lot, but from what I read, he was pretty moderate.
Yeah.
Well, you have to choose a party to run for. You're independent. You're not
exactly.
gonna win, so you have to align with somebody.
Yeah.
Things change over time.
I hope, like, right now we have some compromises. Like,
Trump used to be a Democrat.
you're gonna have we're gonna have it.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna have it now. The presidency and in both houses, very thin, but both houses
Well,
are gonna be. Let's see how much they'll be able to do it at right now.
I think it leans hard one direction, but outside of presidency in general, just political campaigns, political seats, a lot of those people capitalize and make a lot of money nowadays from it. There's not very many governors, senators, House members that don't have access to inside information with stocks and stuff.
Remember that
A lot of them make a lot of money. Why are they multimillionaires when they're on like a $300,000 a year salary?
Follow Nancy Pelosi's.
But it's not. It's 100%. That's the go-to. Everybody says it. I almost said it because it is true. But it's both sides of the coin there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everybody freaking capitalizes on that.
She's the most famous, but there's Republicans and other Democrats
She's thrown in the mud.
that do the exact same thing.
Everybody does it. And it's like
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
100%.
From working, she has her business.
Ted Cruz.
75 million.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that there's this app that you pay $3 a month on top of your year whatever subscription to have it. $3, and you get notification every single time any congressman and anyone buys or sells stocks. And you get a
public
notification.
information.
It's public information. So what you do that instead of investing $10 million, you put it $300.
Yeah.
You put in $300, just a notification.
Well, sure. I'm just always skeptical. Like, how deep do these people go into it? Like, I personally am not going to invest, but I'm, the majority shareholder of this business that owns this trust, and this trust has this, and that trust has invested $1 million in this. Like, there's probably so much that we don't even see.
Yeah, because these
people aren't stupid.
Yeah, the driven butterfly effect, goes that way. So okay, so I'm gonna do that.
That's
There's one more thing. Okay,
me.
They are also thinking the long game, right?
100%.
So they buy it now and say, why has she bought this? And then it takes like 2 years, no gaining.
Right.
That's fine. The third year, it's 1,000%.
Right.
When you
because they're trying to build more stuff.
When you think about three years for 1,000%, nobody does that.
Well,
so
I got lucky.
in a world that we're moving towards.
It was 2 years before, 3 years
A
before.
law got passed, and now I'm really lucky.
How could I have known that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sure. But we're moving towards renewable energy, electric, all these things. You start seeing people, and I'm not saying I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying if you start seeing people investing more into natural gases and resources, but it's like, well, why is that? Because everything's moving the opposite way. So they're kind of shorting that position. So it's like, this is a multi-hundred millionaire. Should I follow that? Because I almost feels like I should, but
I'll tell you, man. I don't know when the crisis will come, but
we don't know how long you can.
how long can you hold? Yeah.
the crisis will come. It's growing at the, you know, it's going to
there's
have a
always
crash. It's going to have a
crises.
crash, you know, at certain point because someone is going to want to cash in. Okay, so
But
then
it disrupts.
we're going to have a lot of opportunities. So I don't know.
But we've
for
already
small
seen
caps,
that.
I'm going to buy now. For small caps, I don't care. I buy now.
Sure.
$50 here, $100 there for small caps.
But that's like
Now for
going to a movie.
the one exactly, but for the ones that I really want to have the majority of my stocks, I think I'm going to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to wait a little bit. You go down. When you go down, just buy it. You know, don't be afraid, man. When everybody's afraid, if you know your shit, buy it.
That is the time to buy.
Buy it. You know, you're never gonna get all the bottom and sell it. Just buy it, especially stocks that you really like it. As I said, Delta. I don't care if Delta goes down. I'm gonna buy more Delta because I will only fly Delta.
Well, it's the time to buy. But it's difficult for people that are paycheck to paycheck and don't
Yes,
have
yes.
expendable cash
Yes.
to put into anything.
But I'm talking about $50 here, $100 there. You know, like
Yeah, but
That's what I
most
do.
of the people that are, it's hard for them to envision putting $50 towards that because I need to buy diapers or whatever it is. So it takes, it's even that is still like
discipline and
a leap of
purchasing
faith
power.
too. Is like
Yes.
I'm going to commit to doing this in the hopes that it will eventually pay off. It's still a gamble. It's still like taking that leap. But we saw too that the market, everyone already probably knew, it doesn't play fair. So the whole thing that happened with GameStop. It was disrupting the market too much. They shut it down. You couldn't trade or sell stuff at a certain point where they start intervening. And so it's like, you can know so much and it'll only get you so far. There's a little bit of luck involved with stocks, and then there's a lot about anything in life. Not what you know, but who you know. You know the right person that knows the right thing.
It needs to be, but there is one thing that is more important than that. It's when it happens.
But
It doesn't matter how much you know if you don't know when it happens, you know?
But
So-
that's where the who you know comes into play,
Yeah,
because it's
who
like
and when,
this
yeah.
person.
I
Who
know.
knows?
I know what Dylan's talking
They're the
about.
ones who told me.
I'm gonna give an example of what you're talking about. Let's say you are a influencer of some sort. Let's say you have 100,000 followers, and then you write a book, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say 5% of your 100,000 buys your book. It's a bestseller.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's what you're talking about. It's like
Yeah.
it's you gotta know someone that it's creating a buzz on something. That's what happened to GameStop because it was like a Reddit kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people, you
It was
know,
almost meme generated.
Yeah.
You know?
exactly. It's the same as a meme.
Yeah.
It caught wind. It was a fire, and it caught wind, and the fire kept getting bigger to the point where they had to start changing the market and stop it, which I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do. It was in a way kind of like, I wouldn't say corrupted, but it was like definitely outside of the norm.
Let me tell you something.
But people lost
something similar
a
to
lot
that.
of
Okay?
money.
It's like you want to vindicate whatever you wanted. Just don't go through Mona Lisa or whatever and start throwing stuff and damaging this.
Yes.
You see, get there. I don't know. Do something that won't damage somebody else's. You know,
Blocking the highway.
I will tell you,
sitting on
man,
the
if I
road.
am
It's the same thing.
inside the Louvre and I see someone doing that, I don't know. I will get in trouble in France because I won't allow it. I would do a problem. There would be a bigger problem, you know, for them because I won't allow it, and I want to see my face associated with that. Stop this shit.
I respect that about you. I'm not messing around in foreign countries. But I respect that about you. No, I'm serious. Because
I would never do that
I'd
in
be
America, in Brazil. No, Brazil, yeah, but
I'm
not
the
in
last
America.
person
Yeah.
to jump in somewhere. Like,
Brazil
when I'm
okay,
not-
France okay, but
Not in America. I wouldn't shit here, man. No. Texas, no. Thank you.
Although I have a question now, and sorry to cut
Yeah, sure.
you off, but any more news?
Last bit of information I want to share is we have a polar vortex coming from the North Pole down into the United States.
So we're gonna finally get winter here.
We are going to get some winter in the northern states, Minnesota, Illinois,
Thank you, Santa.
a lot of these other
seen
places
that.
up north. They're expecting
Thank you.
temperatures to be in the negative 30s
Perfect.
Fahrenheit.
Over here?
No,
not
northern
here, but
states.
northern
Yeah,
states
north-
like
okay.
Minnesota, Illinois,
For example,
Wisconsin.
today was almost 90 degrees. Tomorrow the high is 60, and it's dropping into the 40s.
Yep.
New Year's Eve, New Year's night, we are dropping into the 30s, and this is all happening within like about 24 hours. So I knew we were getting something. I didn't know it was a North Polar vortex or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's thank you Santa for sending something down from the North Pole. It's been
There-
too hot.
So it's, I mean, we're getting the very pale
We're the minimal.
little wisp of what's
Yeah.
You're
actually
saying up north
happening.
it's negative
It's
30?
the little
They're-
ricochet we're getting.
Yes, they're
For
expecting
tailwind.
negative 30 to negative 40 degrees. That's minus wind chill. That's
Starting
minus
tomorrow?
wind chill. So the polar vortex is coming down now and then should start hitting the United States tomorrow.
Does this is a perfect tie-in. Is there any more news? I know you had something else to say too, but this is a perfect time.
No, there was about.
Are there any home games in the NFL with outdoor stadiums? Like, remember we've seen a crazy Buffalo snow game. Is there
Well-
anything in Wisconsin with the Packers? I don't know. We'll get into it when we get into the picks, but that is
I'm
key
about to
information.
click that button. That's why I was bringing it.
That's
There's any
pertinent.
more news because I'm gonna click the logo
That's
thing.
pertinent
Let's
news,
do it.
actually.
Let's
do it.
jump right into it.
Bring the screen because I'm gonna hit it. And we are in for the battle of the logos. Do we have Paul's picks?
I do have Paul's picks.
Oh, cool.
How did it all go?
I'm glad you asked. We went really well on sweeps again. There's actually a game happening right now. So we don't know the final pick, but it was a sweep. So the only thing it will affect is our sweep percentage. Everyone will either stay the same or go down one if the Lions happen to lose tonight.
All right.
But it was pretty good.
It was you and I on top.
And then Pablo had a little recumbrance.
Yes.
He
He gained one on me.
I'll let you all know now. He'll tell you when he's back. He was a little frustrated. No one asked him for his pick. But he didn't, he claims, watch a single game up until Sunday. I said, send me your picks now. It is what it is. Magically, he's one up on Hilton. How that happened, I'm not going to say. I told him I trust you. Just be honest about it. So today, send me all your picks. So
It's not
I'm
something.
happy. I'm happy that
not
the
that
Jaguars won.
Beat the Titans.
Yeah.
you got a little wild with the Saints here, I'll tell you that. You got a little wild with the Saints.
I did.
But
go,
that
yeah.
was a close game, actually. So there was a
But I like the Saints. You know.
Yeah,
there was
you
a
do.
point
cool logo.
You do.
It's a very cool logo,
in
man.
the middle of that game, I said, Hilton knew something because the Saints were playing well, and then it just didn't come to fruition. I was like,
No, I didn't know
"He-"
shit, but I did.
Oh,
I
it doesn't matter.
I like the Saints logo
That's
a
just
lot.
the sentiment of it is like he must have known something. So we're going into it at a close race. Pablo's wanting to get 3 up on you here. That's what he's wanting. He's 2 behind. Y'all can tie. If he gets 3 up on you this week, the final week, he's not in last place, and that is his burning passion. So we're going to take some picks here to make sure that doesn't happen. And I suggest that you pick with your heart, pick with your logos. But if you were to pick all the same picks
You win.
as Pablo,
No, I don't care.
Ah.
I really don't care.
I just think that there's nothing that could happen. I could always put his picks in last, but we do have this special feature of the show we like to call On Second Thought.
Yes.
Everyone gets one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Boom! Let's move this guy over. I have some information on some of the games, not all the games.
Do you wanna just because I'm really down on my cigar right now? Do you wanna talk about cigars quickly or not?
Yeah, he's down
Or
on
the
his.
final score,
done on
just
mine.
like a final score on the cigar. So
Final score?
yeah,
Yeah.
Are we on me?
yeah.
I can't see.
No, we are on.
It's on everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Final score on mine, I'm going to give it a solid 92.
That's a
cigar.
great score.
A good
Good
cigar.
score.
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan.
I'm going to give that cigar an 87. The reason being is not because it's not a good cigar, it's just so bold and so impactful with the flavor.
Overpowerful.
It overpowers some other things. So it's like that. This is one, as George mentioned prior, it's like you almost do have to be in the mood for it, even as someone that enjoys Maduros and Ligeros and darker, stronger, bolder flavors. I still don't. To me, there are other cigars that have that boldness and complexity that kind of outpower it. But that's one that, like, any time of the week, someone gave it to me, I'm like, oh, that's good. I'll smoke it. 87 is a very good score.
I'm with you. I'm giving an 89 though. A
Okay.
little bit better than 87. I'm giving an 89 because I really enjoyed that name of the cigar. And it's an 89, and it's not 90 because I had to correct mine about 3 times. So
Yep. Mine went off a couple times, and the last time I just didn't feel like relighting it. I think I knocked it a couple.
We always smoke the same cigar with different pairings, right? So that
Yeah.
certainly affected how we perceive the cigar.
Yes, sir.
I have no complaints about that. I don't even know how to, grade that. But I would say that compared to other ones, I would say it's because of the whole experience, I would give it 90 because of the experience.
Okay.
90 is a good,
Maybe
good
it's gonna be
number.
lower if I didn't have all this appreciation of the
Well,
cigar.
I would add some context to that, which you already added. It's not your typical cigar. It's
Exactly.
not your typical
but-
flavor profile and preference.
And you scored more than I did.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we might even be a little harsher in the category of cigar that this is in because of what we like. This is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be harsher on it. So for you coming into that world a little bit, like, you have to be in the mood for it, but I am in the mood for it, and I paired it with this, I paired it with that, and you like it. That a 90 is a solid score. By the way, Jameson Williams just scored a 3-yard rushing touchdown.
How many yards?
3 yards. They're already in the red zone, but he's a wide receiver. He scored a rushing touchdown.
Oh,
Interesting.
so that's a lot of points then.
I need all the help I can get.
I do too.
Okay. All right. We got our scores in.
That's a good score. It's a fair score. We got to try this Crux now. You got me interested with the 92 over here.
It's good.
All right, game 1. We've got the Cleveland Browns. I didn't mean to click on that. At the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens playing at home. 11-5. Already clinched.
Birds.
Yeah.
Birds.
Bird is the word. Let me pull up Pablito.
Bird is the word.
He is also on.
I guarantee.
The bird.
I just want to guarantee my third place. Honorable third place there.
Okay. We have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Before anyone says anything here, I would like to add a little bit of caveat to this. So the Bengals have had a tough year, obviously 8-8. They are not eliminated from the playoffs yet. What they need is for them to win. Kansas City needs to beat the Broncos. And I believe they need one other team to lose, and they might also be in the AFC North. I need to look here real quick. The Dolphins have to. It's AFC East. The Dolphins need to lose to the Jets. So I don't know if all these things are going to happen.
But they're
Hard
going to
combination.
play
But
the
they're-
hard.
It's a tough combination,
Yes.
but they're playing. This is essentially a playoff game for them. They lose and they're out. So that being said,
They're playing the
Steelers
year.
are a hot team. If Russell Wilson's hot at home, George Pickens, if he's playing, Najee, they're a tough team, and their defense is great. All of that being said, just because of who they are, and I've picked the Bengals more often than not this season, and they've let me down. This might be the last time that it happens. But I'm going to pick the Bengals here because I think they're going to come out with a vengeance. And maybe they lose, but this is going to be my game 2 of the week.
You came ready, huh?
Hey, I had a week off. I had time to study, gentlemen. And we can do Pablito here if you're ready, or if anyone else wants to jump in.
I'm gonna go Steelers.
I like the because it's the smarter choice.
I'm going to think a little bit on it.
You're
Well,
gonna think.
we
I have my gum first.
We have the Polar Vortex coming in. It's an outdoor stadium. And I think defense is going to be the name of the game, and I believe the Steelers defense.
Yes, Bengals defense is atrocious.
Steelers for me.
But you are talking about Icy Joe Burrow.
That is true.
I see Joe Burrow. He doesn't allow. Listen to that. He does not allow his wide receivers to wear sleeves during these outdoor cold games because it reduces your chance of catching the ball.
Because it's slippery.
Slippery. But he comes out there like, no, we're not doing it. So everybody,
And
dogma.
nobody's going to be sweaty, so it's going to have a better grip.
Yeah,
But it's
That's my actually.
this your
Here's my quarterback, and
Joe Burrow.
yeah,
This is dog mentality.
gave me 37
Grit.
points.
This is the grittiest game of the week for me.
I'll go with you, Dylan.
A lot of these don't have like playoff implications. This is a gritty freaking game. You're gonna go Bengals.
Tigers, yeah.
All right.
They might not win, but I promise you, this should be a great game to watch. Next on the list, we have the. This really should be the NFC Championship game right here. You got two great teams. How could you? The Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Birds.
That's birds, right?
Birds.
I think it's got to be the Birds. Let me double check, make sure he didn't go the other way. Yep, that's a sweep on the Birds. We also have a sweep
playing
on the
home.
Falcons. You wanna change it?
No. Good.
I liked how Penix played.
You know what? I really did too,
Yeah.
and I think Kirk Cousins
The
is out of there.
The other thing that I gave at 89 is that the triple wrap on the cigar on the top came off on my third puff, and then right now the cigar is unraveling.
Yeah.
It made my smoke a little bit more conscious about keeping that on.
I cut mine, and I thought I did a pretty good cut. You can almost see there's no tobacco that came off with the end cap,
Yeah.
I did a pretty good cut. Yeah.
and
And
maybe a little bit, like a little bit of flake here.
And yes, but it's
But it unraveled
unraveled. Yeah.
Immediately at the very
Yeah,
beginning.
yours didn't because it did a V cut and we did
Yeah.
a straight cut.
But I would also say it's indicative of this is like a fresh, typically from Babalu,
From Babalu, I
hand
think
rolled
like
there.
from Babalu, it's a punch instead of any other cut. To be
And
honest.
I would also, it's probably for it's more user error than anything. I wouldn't knock the cigar. I'm not knocking the cigar on that. That was probably, I did it and I saw it unravel immediately. I'm like, I probably went a little too deep. But the way I did it
No.
was I just took the cap off. I didn't even slice it. I just took the cap off. But that's fine. I enjoy that cigar. It's also a very strong cigar. So.
Yeah, it is.
Up next, we have the
Commanders.
the Dallas Cowboys. Notable mention: CeeDee Lamb out, Dak Prescott out, Ron Bland is back, Diggs
Commies
playing,
then. Commies.
Jaden Daniels playing, Terry McLaurin playing.
But hold on, is the Cowboys still with the chance or no?
Cowboys out of the playoffs. Ain't gonna happen.
So commies for me.
I think everybody's probably gonna be riding the Commander train except for Paul, unless I'm wrong here. He didn't put a pick for this game. He put find, but I think he meant to say Fins.
Yeah.
Ravens, Steelers, Redskins. That's why he's not calling. He's a Redskin boy.
Yeah, Redskin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't call them the Commanders.
Yeah. Sweet.
Sweep.
Sweet. Next up, the Bears, Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. Packers at home in the winter storm. 11-5 against Caleb Williams. They are wanting to. I don't know. Are they going to see anybody? They're in the playoffs. They don't have anything to prove.
They're not gonna play their what do you call like
Starters.
Starters, yeah.
In their division are the Vikings and the Lions, 14-2, 13-2. So the worst they'll do is 13-14, and they're here with 11. So no matter what they do, and Bears is also in the AFC North. So no matter what, they can't go up on anybody here. They're not the type of team. I don't think they're sitting many people though.
No.
Bill Belichick was on Pat McAfee's show today talking about this. It's because this is going to come up later with the Chiefs, but
I'm really
think about as
upset
coach,
because I like the Bears, the Chicago Bears, but I'll go with Lily on that one. I'll go
I'm going Packers for sure.
I'll go
Yeah.
Packers.
But what I would say to that is, if you look just statistically, Caleb Williams hasn't had a terrible year. He's had some numbers that he's like singled himself out as. He's done some things that a lot of other people haven't done in terms of teams. Chicago has a bright
Thank
future.
you.
They just didn't have a great year. So I wouldn't be down. Oh, thank you so much. I wouldn't be down on the Bears. I just think this was not their year. Maybe next year's not their year either, but they're making the right decisions. In previous years, they have not. So that's worth noting. But imagine this as an employer.
I'm gonna change to this camera. I need the bathroom.
And with that, we'll be right back.
You guys can talk about
So
whatever.
this is how it feels to just buy from. Oh, what I was bringing up had to do with Hilton, because like being a business owner. Bill Belichick was on, it might even have been Pat McAfee. He's on a show today saying it's very difficult as a coach and a leader of men to say, I'm going to sit these 5 guys, sit these starters in particular, 3, 5, whatever. These are the important guys. The rest of you, you're going to play. It's kind of divisive. It's a tough thing to do. So going into this last game, and it's a big implication for the Bengals. The Chiefs could just put all the secondary out there, pull the starters out. Broncos win. Bengals eliminated right there.
Yep.
But the Bengals getting in at the number 7 seed, they're going to have to play the Bills. So if you look at defense to defense, stacking them up, the Bills should win that game. But if the Bengals end up winning that game, I think if you're Kansas City, wouldn't you rather play the Bengals instead of the Bills? Based on what you... Or you don't even think of it in that regard. I can't control who I'm playing. All I can control is my guys, what we're doing. Patrick Mahomes got a little banged up a couple games ago. But so there's so many things that it's a tough week to really nail down. Also, this is the 18th week of the NFL. 5 independent gentlemen in this room, also not here. Not a single one of us in the whole year has gotten a full week 100% correct. It doesn't happen. It does not happen. It's very difficult to nail every game and know all the things. I'm not saying... I'm sure we have viewers, somebody out there that has had a week where they've gotten them all correct. Is difficult. And this week is not any easier because of that. That's a little subtle thing where people are going to sit. I'm telling them as a leader of men, as a business owner, I tell your employees, this person and this person really matter. They're good. We're not going to. You all carry the weight. It's a tough thing to do. There's a coach that was saying that. Like, it's hard to sit 5 guys and the rest of you all have to play and win this game. Some of these guys, maybe it's their last year with this team. Maybe they're needing to put tape on field to get picked up with another team.
Yeah.
Nobody goes into these games really wanting to lose, even when you talk about this team's tanking. You know how many people are on that team that they're not going to be on this team again? You think they want to tank? They want to win.
They only became professionals because they have a winner mentality.
They have a
hate
drive.
losing.
So it makes it difficult. And I was out of the 5 of us that have picked for 18 weeks now, not a single one of us has got the whole slate correct. No one's gone 100% all year because it's
There is this
very
thing
difficult.
also that there is a scarcity. You know, like so many people want to get into the league. You know, like you are wondering how many players are wondering, like, will I get a contract
correct.
after
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So I think this is scarcity is very important for the sport to maybe not rule out that they're going to tank, but there will be people fighting there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have their own interests.
We have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. I believe the Colts were just eliminated after this loss to the Giants. They were a playoff contention team, and they just lost to the Giants.
They lost to the Giants.
We swept the Colts and lost to the Giants by huge margins. It was a terrible game for the Colts.
Yep.
My morale is so down on the Colts right now. They have a home game against Jacksonville. I don't know how much Jacksonville really cares. When you have 4 wins, do you really... The last game of the season, neither team's going to the playoffs, so it's not even like you get to say, I knocked them out. There's no upside. By finishing 4-12, 4-13 actually, you're going to get a better draft pick.
Yeah.
But as I just mentioned, these guys
They will play for a win.
they don't have that mentality. So I just don't know. Joe Flacco is probably going to play, not AR 15, 5, whatever.
I don't know.
What I don't know anymore.
Idiot.
So this one to me, even though it's nobody teams, for me this is one of the tougher,
Series.
selections of a winner because it's just you never know. So you almost always want to favor the home team. Either way, Indianapolis is it's a closed stadium.
So weather won't matter.
Weather doesn't matter. Does
Bull-
Jacksonville maybe want to finish the year? I don't want to be a dog. I don't want to finish with 4 wins. I want to finish with 5. I don't know.
But
Now we're breaking
what kind of
down.
positions they're gonna get? What kind of draft positions they're gonna?
Well, the
how-
worse you do, the better your draft is.
Yeah. So they might
So,
be.
but what do they
thinking
lose
about
by? And I don't know all the implications. All I know is organically to look at the matchup, and the matchup tells me a couple things. When they're clicking, Indianapolis has pretty good offense. Defense, okay. Not very good. We just saw last week the Giants put up like 40-something points on them. Not good. They're okay. Throughout the years, but they're not good. On the other hand, the Jaguars, 4-12. You think they're much better, but they've had a lot of close games. So this is one of those where
Colts.
I don't even want to go first because it's a tough one. Someone's got to jump the gun on this. You got Colts here for Conrad, and you got
Same for me.
Colts for George, Colts for Paul. And I feel like if that's the case, then I'm going to ride the wave on it. Let's just sweep the Colts. But
I agree with you.
in no way, shape, or form am I confident.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a-
we
yeah.
might
This
go.
is just a shit game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we're not even here yet because all these games have had gotten flexed into different positions. That's what's so crazy about Week 18. These are all out of order. Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Bills on the road. They don't really. They're in, but this is a divisional game, and it's in New England. It's cold. Run game. Drake May with New England has proved he's a guy. He's a guy.
He's a good quarterback.
This could be a weird upset game, but I'm going to take the Bildos.
Do you know what?
Sure, Bills.
We talked about the Builders last year a lot, and then this year they are actually playing really nice.
They're dogs.
Yeah, sure.
playing really
I
nice.
would love for them to win the Super Bowl. Go in and win. I hope Josh Allen wins the MVP. If not him, then maybe Lamar Jackson. But
They're a sweep.
I think it's a
Sure.
sweep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next up, we have the Giants at the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, is he finally going to be back? He's had 2 concussions. He had a concussion in the middle of the game, not last week, but the prior. Last week he sat out. Kenny Pickett balled out. Giants had a good game with Drew Lock, but Eagles are in, Giants are out. This game it doesn't matter. But playing in Philly, fans are going to be there. You're going to show up for your fans.
Birds.
I'm taking the Birds.
Birds. I normally take the birds anyways.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Paul took the Birds. Paul came to play today
Yeah.
Yes.
because he never picks the Birds.
Yeah.
These dirty Birds. Never.
Taking the birds.
He's taking the Birds. That means he wants to win. But so far, y'all have all the same picks, so I think it's
No, I went Bengals.
okay. Tough sledding. Got a chance here. New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers need, I think,
Well, it's the Saints at the
Oh.
Buccaneers.
apologies. Apologies, sir.
Yeah. How dare you?
No problem.
We did for the Commanders. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, we handed the commies over there.
Commanders. Oh, did you see it? Did you say
I
it?
did. He said the, and then I.
Ah, okay. All right.
I'm taking the Bucks.
Same.
Yeah,
Saints are
same,
sorry this time of the year, and
same.
it means more to the Bucks for sure.
Yeah.
We have the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans.
Well, that's Texans, right? For everybody, probably. It's another
I don't know
sweep.
if the Texans are in anymore. They just keep losing.
The Texans have looked sorry as of late. Joe Mixon has completely derailed my fantasy season. Freaking, I'm so down on Joe Mixon right now.
What is that? The Titans.
It's a moral victory for the Titans if, like, you know what, we go out on a win. I don't know. I'm Texans, though. This is a tough
Look at
one,
this.
but I'll
The
take
game-
the Texans.
all the Gibbs.
Pablo is the Texans.
If Gibbs score more or less than
It's
10
a
points,
sweep.
I lose it.
Dylan. That's a sweep.
If he scores more, I win it.
Yeah.
Texans?
Uh,
Titans. This is an
Texans.
AFC South matchup. It just
Texans,
doesn't matter.
Texans.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
One more point. I'm gonna win
Man, this is
for
gonna
the
be.
5th place.
Okay.
I'm losing for 4th, so.
Yeah.
The 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh.
Not a bad game.
49ers.
It's not a bad. It's maybe my game too over there.
I'm taking Niners over Cardinals. Are you?
I'm not sure yet.
Yes.
You're not sure yet. I'll tell you, Paul picked
The Cardinals.
Cardinals.
He likes the Cardinals.
He does like the Cardinals.
You do, yeah.
49ers. Because they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
They were eliminated already, unfortunately. I like
Yeah.
the sentiment. And also, I like a special note. Where are we at here?
If you wanna play a game, take the Cardinals.
The Commanders. Where are they at?
Above.
Oh, yeah, they're up here. What's the record say right there for the Cowboys?
7-9.
What does it say right here for the Niners?
6-9.
Eat the dick. All right. We hate the 49ers too. I'm
Good.
just saying. People can say all they want about the Cowgirls having a better year than the Niners. Next, you taking the Niners or the Cardinals? I hate the Niners. I hate the Niners.
I'll go Birds.
Birdies.
Playing the game.
He's playing the long game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's just who we thought was going to win. It's the better logo. It's the better logo.
I don't like the Birds. I don't really like the Angry Birds too much,
You like it more than Niners.
but they are playing a little nicer this year, and I hope next year they do even better.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Not as good as the Cowboys, though, or the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Let's
Who's
not get
gonna
into that.
challenge the Chiefs?
Chiefs at the Broncos.
Huh?
Chiefs are sitting. This is what came up earlier. Chiefs are, rumor has it, supposedly sitting starters.
Broncos have to win.
Broncos have to win. If the Broncos lose, that helps the Bengals. So there's lots of implications in this game, and the Chiefs don't really care. They're already in, and they've already locked in the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So they're in. They could lose this week, and they still get the first round bye. They don't care.
But how
They're
about
going to be
the,
sitting all of the starters?
Not all of them.
but
just
how
some
about
of
that
them.
factor
That's why.
inside
The
of the second
the
team
main-
really wants
That's
to
why
show
it's tough
up?
as a
the
coach.
most important
Yeah.
ones.
These 5 guys are
No.
really important. The rest of you, y'all figure it out.
Have fun.
It's
Go and have fun at the game. It's an opportunity for the guys to have fun.
But that's
Yeah.
it's difficult to do that. Where like these guys are more important. But do you think these guys don't know that in the locker room already?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has a $500 million contract, $500 million. They know he's the guy.
I'm gonna go
So
Broncos.
y'all go out there and have some fun. The stress isn't on you. Go out, try to have fun, win the game. If you don't, doesn't fucking matter. We already had
Doesn't
the first
matter.
round bye.
Have fun and show off, and for the.
So this is all about the Broncos showing up, and Paul here picked the Chiefs. But I'm Broncos.
Me too. 'Cause I'm not really playing that game. I'm
Man,
because I
Me
think
too. Broncos.
yeah.
I'll take the Chiefs. I can play the game.
He's
too.
playing the game. Nothing to lose. All right, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams. I'll go first on this one, and I know you might have some thoughts about this, but Seahawks were just officially eliminated from the playoffs. This is a division rival, and I think they come out pissed. And they're throwing haymakers, and the Rams are still having a chance to go in, and I think they
Seahawks will do it. Birds. It's birds time against
just
the
think-
Lakers.
they'd like to take them down with them. That's what I would do if I was if I was officially eliminated as a Cowboy. We're playing the Eagles. We're having not the best year, but not the worst. That's a respectable record. 9-7. You could finish 10-7 on the year, 10 wins. That's not bad. But I could take the Eagles out with me. We're both going
Which
to
would
finish
be 10-7 and 10-7, yeah.
and neither of us are going to make it, because screw you. That's the energy that I would be on. So for that reason, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks, and I hope Geno Smith goes off and scores like 30 fantasy points.
Can you now tell a similar story from the Rams side?
So for the Rams, it's been a very difficult season. Matthew Stafford has had his ups and his downs, lots of injuries. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. But from the ashes arises phoenixes. Lad McConkey having himself a
That's
year.
for the Chargers, though.
You're right, for the Chargers. But he is having himself a
He
year.
is having. Yeah.
You know why? I was like, we haven't talked about him yet, because he's the next game. That's on me. I apologize. The running back for the Rams.
Cam Akers.
Akers having himself a year. They're trying to
I'm going for the Rams.
seal their deal.
Sorry.
Let's put you down. And I'll be sorry.
You go against yourself?
Going against my team.
He's just fed up. He's fed up with his team.
I'm swinging for the win. I'm one behind Dylan right now.
Oh,
Two to
Oh,
win.
I see.
2 to win. Okay.
Playing the game.
Playing the game.
Yeah.
I'm playing the Battle of the Logos.
And
here.
you see that?
What better way to win?
Hold on. If you're playing the Battle of the Logo, Seahawks has a much better logo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the horn from the A Kona. It's
No.
not a bad logo.
No.
It's not a bad logo.
Not that.
In comparison.
It's not that good though.
It's
What better way to win than Conrad picking against his own team and getting it wrong? I would love to stand on
That's
that.
the competitiveness inside of him. Yeah.
I got to do it. Sorry.
In him.
Oh, I
Yeah.
respect it.
Give me the Rams too, just because they're so courageous. Give me the Rams too.
Everybody take the Rams but me. I want 2 points. Next year we'll do that.
I'm gonna play the long game,
no,
and
Paul.
I'm gonna with the Lakers.
Paul also chose the Rams, so this is
Yeah.
securing your future.
Yeah, just
Seahawks as the upset victory would be
I would love it.
devastating for this group.
I'm loving it, but
I'm loving it. Chargers at the Raiders.
Chargers.
I think this is an easy one.
Yep.
Probably sweep.
yeah.
Sorry ass Raiders over here. Just a sorry franchise.
Well, just consolidated my mediocre third place.
Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. I really feel like Aaron Rodgers is gone. Garrett Wilson's probably going to get traded. Dolphins, I don't know if they're eliminated or not, to be honest, but I know by them losing it helps the Bengals. And I just feel like the Jets, I was high on them. At the beginning of the year, I said maybe they'll go to the Super Bowl. Boy, was I wrong.
But the Finns will play
Finns.
the hell out of it to be able to go.
Fins.
We all Finns?
I think they
Yeah.
have a possibility of going, so I think they are going to play.
Yeah, Finns up with the sweep.
All right. The Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit
Wow,
Lions.
this is
Oh, my
Hilton's
game. That's my
that's
game of
my
the
game of the week.
Mine
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
I
same
saved it for
here.
last.
You know?
Wow.
Both of my
Your teams, that's
I'm
what
a
I'm saying.
Leo as in the
I'm gonna give that
because
one
I
all
was
about
born in
Zodiac.
August. Yeah,
Yeah.
Zodiac. But I'm a Viking because I'm Nordic.
yeah.
Both teams. Tonight's
Yeah.
game really does matter because Lions could advance to 14-2 by beating the 49ers, and they're playing right now. I could pull it up here. Just
There.
it's live. The game is 14-13 in the second quarter. Niners up by 1. We got ourselves a game. Lions got to close this one, and if they don't, it's even more important to stay ahead of the Vikings. It's the close game. Lions at home. It is an enclosed stadium. Weather's not
And
gonna
they'll play. What day are they playing?
Monday
night.
unless there's no
No.
Monday night game.
No
it's
more
a Sunday
Monday night.
night
It's
game.
a Sunday
It's
night.
a Sunday
No,
night.
Sunday night. So it's
That's the game.
Last
It's
game
the last game of the
Last- regular season.
Well,
Yeah.
But then it's last
Win.
rest for the Lions. The one
Gibbs is
day
good.
less of rest.
That is true.
That is true. Yeah.
And they are kind of depleted in terms of
A lot of injuries.
a lot of injuries on. Yeah, exactly. Their guys are banged up. So this is a tough game, but they also cannot afford to lose. And if I know anything about Motor City Dan Campbell, he's going to pull all the stops out, especially if they're down 1, because they're going to be 13-3. Got to be 14-3 for both of them. And then it's going to come down to head-to-head matchups. And I don't remember who won the last time they played. Do you remember?
No. No.
I don't either. I'd have to go and look.
The game is in Detroit, right?
Yeah,
Right there.
I passed it.
Yep. Lions won.
Lions won by
2 points.
2 points. Back in October.
So the Vikings, they have to win.
and they have the means to win. Justin Jefferson playing, Jordan Addison playing,
Okay, I'll go last.
Darnold
I'm
playing.
gonna go Lions.
I'm going to go Lions. Too.
I don't
The
know how
Vikings-
you go against.
Vikings have to win.
I think both
So
teams.
does Lion.
Both teams are in regardless.
They're in already.
So do the
They're in
Lions,
already.
right?
Both teams are in already. This is more of like positioning. One team would go above the other, unless Detroit loses tonight, then they have to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're still in regardless, but they have to win to fight for the positioning.
Either way, they're playing their.
I'll go Lions because Lions is my team, right?
Every
Lions is
team.
your team.
Yeah. I mean,
Other team's not.
well, no. I'm Lions.
One,
I picked from the
two,
beginning of the year the Lions as
one.
being my team.
Yep.
2, 3, 4 games we're not sweeping, so we're 12 out of 16 sweep.
Put me down. Game 2 of the week for me is the Seahawks Rams. I think
Yes.
you're right. It's going to be a good
Yeah.
game. And
I
George
agree.
Also,
I'll go the Lions.
Is that your game of the week?
Game as the second. No. Hold on, that was my first.
yeah.
Yeah, but you could do it on second thought.
No.
Personal opinion, I agree with him. Seahawks Rams is going to be good. Giants Eagles actually could end up being pretty good. Browns Ravens is a sneaky one that you never know. Didn't the Browns already beat the Ravens once? That could be good.
I'll go 49ers and Cardinals being my second game of the week.
Okay.
Bengals
that's
and
a sneaky
Steelers,
one that could be-
right? Bengals and Steelers is going to be good too.
Bengals Steelers is going to be a
Be a very
shootout
good, yeah.
because it's the Bengals are fighting for their life,
Yeah.
and the Steelers are trying to keep them out. They don't want to play again in the playoffs. So, everybody went except Paul. Paul never gave me a first or a second. I'm just assuming that Vikings Lions game is going to be a good one for him. So I put his
Yeah.
name in the
It's a
hat
good
there.
assumption.
You never know with that guy.
Yeah. So
All right, another great week.
Yeah.
Picks,
Subscribe.
like,
Comment.
share.
and also turn on the notifications.
Hit that bell. And we will see you in 2025.
Wow.
Bigger and better than ever.
Well, we're gonna take a break and then we'll see you next year.
We will.
Exactly.
With Conrad's short news segments, more cigar reviews. Lots of fun things coming. So stay tuned.
We go back to Wednesday, right? Because now
Back to Wednesday.
the holidays are
Over.
done.
Yeah.
And probably closer to like an hour and 15 long podcast instead of 2. But you never know. Sometimes we get wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great conversation today.
Oh, yeah,
It was
it was a good
awesome.
one.
Yeah, it was
good.
awesome.
Thank you for sticking around
Yeah,
if
we
you
appreciate
did. And we'll see you soon.
Hey.
Bye.
Au revoir.